What's up guys, Boss here, and in today's video I'm going to try to win this grand challenge using an off-meta deck. So it's been an extremely long time since I made a video on a deck that has some cards in it that you don't typically see inside of the game very often. The Giant Skeleton and the Minion Horde, two cards that you would consider off meta, but they can both actually work and get a good amount of value if you know how to use it, and they pair really nicely in this deck. You got the Balloon, which is one of the strongest win conditions in the game, and then the Lumberjack, which of course rages everything up, the Minion Horde raged up, and the Balloon of course gets really scary, as I'm sure a lot of you guys know. Ewiz is a good support card and a reset, and then Fireball, probably the best big spell in the whole game right now, and then the Tornado synergizes well in the deck because you can tornado things into the Giant Skeleton Bomb, and of course away from the Balloon. And then Log is just a really good small spell, and it just pairs well in this deck, good on defense to push things back, and then offense to take out, some baity cards or cards that just die to the Log. So before you get in the first game, if you guys would like to support me, can use my creator code BOSS in any Supercell game. Really do appreciate all the support from you guys. It does mean a lot. And just to prove to you guys that this deck is very good, this guy Simi is on my friends list. He's the main person who uses this deck. It's what he's known for playing. He's 4th in the world right now, and he finished 14th in the world last season with this deck, which is absolutely ridiculous. I don't think anyone would expect someone to finish 14th in the world having Giant Skeleton and Minion Horde in the same deck, but that guy made it happen, and that is why I am, making a video on this deck to, use something that I've never made a, video on before that's kind of, a unique deck. So he's going to go for Ghost in the back first play. Our opponent here will go Giant Skeleton same lane. And I also want to thank you guys so much for 95,000 subscribers. We're getting so close to getting 100,000. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'm going to reach it by the end of the year, and that was my goal at the beginning of the year, to reach 100,000 subscribers, but I might barely miss it because there's only a couple weeks. But who knows? I mean, maybe we could have some kind of like Christmas miracle or something. You never know. But I don't know. It's just going to be tough to gain 5K subs in just a couple weeks. But you never know. Could happen. But anyway, let's focus up on the game here. So he's gonna pretty much sacrifice that Ewiz. I'm gonna go Balloon because P.E.K.K.A. typically doesn't have good counters to the Balloon besides the Ewiz. Usually they have Fireball and Magic Archer, and because his Ewiz is out of cycle, that's why I was like, okay, I'm gonna gonna punish him for that. And yeah, I don't have the Elixir or the correct cycle to defend the Bandit or the Ghost there, but if you're just looking at the situation here, way better situation for me, because, I took his tower, and he still has a little bit more work to do before he takes my right tower. And even if he takes my right tower, if he has to overcommit to get it, I can, of course, just then counter push and take his left tower, most likely. So really liking the situation we're in. Most likely, I'm going to go for my Minion Horde here, because he might try to, I was going to think, like, he might drop something else. So I'm just going to Minion Horde that, and that'll pretty much fully counter everything. I mean, he will take the tower, but at least I don't have to worry about a 3 crown, and because he just used all of his elixir, we can of course just take his tower, and this is what this deck is really good at. I mean, it's a very good offensive deck, and yeah, just really taking advantage of your opponent being in a bad cycle or being low on elixir. And this guy in a way kind of did it to himself, but just makes things easier for us than it otherwise would be. But to be fair, I think it's a good matchup for me anyway. Even if he played well, it is really hard for P.E.K.K.A. decks to defend the Balloon, because when the Ewiz is out of cycle, they're pretty much screwed. So really nice and easy first game there against P.E.K.K.A. Bridge Spam. Really went by a lot quicker than I expected. So here we go. Game 2 here. Probably going to be a little bit harder if I had to guess, just because that first game, usually games don't go by that quickly. We got to be really careful though, because I cannot afford to lose one more game or we lose out of the Grand Challenge, which would be really unfortunate. So he's going to have Skeletons and Log, so probably some sort of cycle deck, and then with the Knight, I'm probably leaning towards it being something like Hog or Expo, something along those lines. And we see the Tesla, so yeah, I mean, it could still be Hog, but, we'll see. Might go for a Balloon here because the Tesla won't actually pull it, I don't think, and he's going to have to go for a Expo. I'm not going to do anything else because I don't want to overcommit. I know the Expo is going to get some damage, but I don't really want to Fireball or go Minion Horde when it's just going to go to waste. So instead, I'm just going to try to, build up a push, go Giant Skeleton in the back here. And we got a little bit of an Elixir lead. I mean, that's also part of the reason why I decided not to, just Fireball the Expo or overcommit with the Minion Horde on top of it. Because if I did that, it would have been bad. And when you're against Expo, you can't really afford to overcommit. You have to play kind of passively in single. So I'm curious, is he going to, you know, go for a, like, I'm curious, is he going to take some damage from the Ewiz here, or maybe just one hit so he doesn't overcommit? And yeah, that is what he's going to do. So because he just spent a lot of elixir there, I'm actually going to go Lumberjack Balloon because, oh, he just cycled his Knight. That's perfect because now he has to, you know, basically use a Tesla just to take out that Lumberjack, and yeah, okay, we'll get that damage. I mean, that's good, actually. And then here, I'm going to go for a Giant Skeleton in the middle. Very important to play it in the middle, so this way it blocks both lanes. You can't play an Expo in either lane because the Giant Skeleton is in the middle, whereas if I played it far down, you know, on either lane, it would have allowed him to go for an Expo in the opposite lane. So that was very important that I did that there. And just like that, we're actually winning the game. I mean, we got to be really careful. It could turn around very quickly. But, I mean, he's actually going to give me a good fireball. And we might even... Yeah, we hit the archers too, the Expo and the tower. I couldn't ask for better value than that. So that's going to increase our lead by a little bit more even. And I think I'm just going to go for, once again, a Giant Skeleton in the middle to prevent him from going in Expo either lane. He's actually going to go for a defensive Expo. So what I'm going to do is go for a balloon. And then I'm probably going to go Minion Horde. So he's going to have to decide what he wants to fireball. Oh, he's got the rocket. Okay, so that's even... I guess that's a little different. I wasn't expecting him to have rocket. I guess that doesn't really change, you know, how we want to play. If anything, it helps us because what it means is we're going to get more value out of our Minion Horde now. Because if he had fireball, then that would mean that, you know, it would be much easier for him to hit the Minion Horde completely, obviously. So I'm going to go and fireball this. I guess, you know, I might not even need to drop my balloon on it just because the Giant Skeleton has so much health. Maybe I need to go Ewiz just to make sure the Expo doesn't get too much chip, but, you know, honestly, I probably didn't need to do that, but it's fine. We're winning. We don't need to, you know, worry too much. We're doing fine. I'm going to go Lumberjack here, and then I'm going to go Balloon. I don't think he can afford a rocket right away because he just went for a Knight and an Expo, so, yeah, sure enough, he was unable to. So that's really good. Maybe Giant Skeleton just to make sure that Knight didn't get a shot. I think it's fine. It'll also tank for the Electro Spirit, so that's perfect. And see what he wants to do here. So he's going to go Expo. I'm going to actually go Minion Horde because it's going to kill the Knight, and then it's going to really do a great job taking care of that Expo, and really nice log there, hitting the Skeletons. It wasn't really a prediction. I was actually going to log anyway because of the archers, but it ended up getting more value, which is great. So now he still needs to get quite a lot of damage on my tower. He probably needs to try to rocket cycle, but it's going to be hard for him to rocket cycle and also defend, especially because I'm applying pressure with the balloons. And now with that fireball, you know, hitting the Tesla and the tower, we're just increasing our lead more and more. And I'm curious if he's going to, you know, go for the rocket cycle soon. It's going to be, as I said, very difficult for him to do, you know, defend and also rocket cycle. I mean, I'm sure he could pull it off. I'm not saying he can't, but it won't be an easy task. So I'm going to go for a Giant Skeleton and just go log here. He's going to go for the first rocket, and once again, we still maintain a lead. 25 seconds to go, so he needs to get 2 more rockets on my tower because I can fireball his tower twice. And I don't know if he can get 2 more rockets on my tower in the given time. I don't know if he has enough time. And actually, instead of ballooning, I think I'm just going to go for a fireball. And I think even if he rockets, I could be wrong, but it won't put him in the lead. Oh my gosh, just barely. I just barely hold on. Whew. 78 HP, and I'm pretty sure a log does do enough. I could be wrong. I'm gonna take a look right now. What does a log do? I'm turning to standard. I probably shouldn't. 87. Yeah, it's easily enough. I just haven't memorized every single spell ever since the change with the spell. So, whew. So, all right, I'll take it. We got a little lucky there. All right, this guy, Action, Code Action. So this guy is a code. I actually don't know who this is. I guess it's maybe a Brazilian content creator, because the clan flag, I think that's Brazil, right? So I guess that's a content creator from Brazil, probably. So anyway, he's got the Bandit and the Ghost, so probably going to be P.E.K.K.A. or Mega Knight. And if the Giant Skeleton crosses over the bridge, what I'm probably going to do is send in the balloon. And yeah, it is. And that's the perfect time because you see he dropped the Queen, but it's in the other lane. He activates the ability super early there, maybe a little bit of a mistake. And I don't know if that balloon's going to make it, but we have the Minion Horde coming in behind, and he just... Okay, so this guy's got literally all the counters in the world to the balloon. He's got the Archer Queen. He's got the... So this guy has the Archer Queen, the Snowball, and the Ramrider. So he's got pretty much 3 things that are incredible against the balloon. Hopefully he doesn't have a Fireball too, and he instead has a Lightning. Now we could still win this. Good King Tower activation there, obviously. The way we want to win this is by, if we can, outcycling both the Archer Queen and the Ramrider. And then what you could also do is get fancy with the tornadoing the Archer Queen into the opposite lane. That can also work too. But yeah, we'll basically see if we get an opportunity to do that. So he's actually going to go for a Ramrider very aggressively. I don't know if that was that good of a play, because now we're going to get a massive counter push, and I could even probably go for a balloon, because we're going to, I don't know, have a lot of support for it. I'm actually going to go balloon in the opposite lane, because he doesn't have a Ramrider or his Queen in cycle. So let's see. Okay, he's got the Lightning, but that's a negative trade, so that's fine, actually. I mean, we're going to get death damage, so definitely worth it. It's a 6 for 5 trade, and we get death damage, as I just said. So, not bad at all. We're going to go Ewiz here. He's going to go for the Bandit. I'm going to go Giant Skeleton. Going to go ahead and pull the Bandit into the opposite lane, and then I'm probably going to go Minion Horde here, because he doesn't have any good spell for the Minion Horde. I mean, he's got the Snowball, but that doesn't completely take it out. He has to go Electro Spirit. I guess with the Electro Spirit, you could argue it's actually pretty good counter to it, but oh well, I guess that's fine. I'm just going to log this back, and I'm going to try to just Fireball here to finish off the... Alright, we'll go Giant Skeleton to pull this, and go Ewiz here. How are we going to be able to break through? We're kind of coming back, though, where this game is becoming a lot closer than it was at the beginning when you got that huge damage lead. So I'm probably going to log here, and then I'm going to Fireball, try to just deal some damage to the Queen, essentially. So the Lumberjack didn't quite take it out. I was hoping it would. So he's going to go Ramrider, kind of aggressively. I'm just going to Ewiz on top. Is he going to do anything else? It looks like he's not. I'm actually going to go for my balloon. It's a great opportunity. And then if he goes Queen, I'm going to NATO it into the right lane if he played it kind of in the middle. But instead he's going to go Lightning, so I would say that was pretty smart on his end to do that. I'm going to go Minion Horde and Giant Skeleton, because he just used his Snowball. Okay, he got back to it. Wait, but the Giant Skeleton is getting awfully close there to his tower. Oh my gosh, guys. My commentating, I can't even commentate well this game. It's just it's been such a weird game. It's gone so back and forth, so I'm just gonna focus on the game. I can't even talk well. Go Giant Skeleton here. And I guess I'm gonna go Minion Horde. And I think it's time, we'll just Fireball. I think we just have to be aggressive with our Minion Hordes, to be honest. We're doing a really good job. I feel like we should just keep up what we're doing. And okay, that was a good Lightning. We gotta go in now. I'm gonna go Balloon like this to distract the Electro Spirit. And I don't think Lightning does enough, actually. It barely doesn't. Oh. Well, I'm not gonna lie, I think I should have been able to win that. The Bandit connecting was kind of my bad. Well, that was kind of an awkward game. Unfortunate. I don't normally do this in videos. It's like, I think, one of my first times I've ever done this, but because I actually played a couple of Grand Challenges before this and lost it 2 with the deck, I'm going to start up another Grand Challenge and play a couple more games. So I hope that's fine with you guys. I don't know. I don't want to attempt it again. At least we had a good couple games. Unfortunate loss there, and I do feel like I kind of threw that. But, you know, it's okay. Sometimes it's a challenge. I can't always win Grand Challenges every time, and whenever I'm using something a little bit off meta, it's obviously a little bit more of a struggle, and that's okay. But yeah, we'll start up the Grand Challenge again, like I'm doing right now. Try to get a couple more wins, and go from there. So we're against Hog right now, and this is actually perfect for you guys who want me to play, like, want to see gameplay from the beginning of Grand Challenges, because sometimes I see you guys in the comments when I'm getting 12 wins, and you guys will say, can you start the Grand Challenge from the beginning at 1 or 2 wins to see, like, I don't know, what opponents I'm getting, if they're the same as what you guys are getting, or you're just curious. So here you go. I mean, I guess this isn't actually that bad of a thing, even though we're... Oh, that balloon was so close to getting a hit. That was so unfortunate. Anyway, I'm going to activate the King Tower here against this Hog Rider. This shouldn't be that bad. This deck right now he's using very strong in the meta, Hog EQ, or maybe he's using it with Lightning. Some people use a different variation. And, yeah. But man, guys, I'm still a little upset because of that last game. I'm not going to lie. I really felt like I kind of threw that and I could have won. The Bandit connecting, that was just super unlucky, but it was honestly my fault. I can't really say it was unlucky. I just had to defend the Bandit, but, you know, it is what it is. You know, you learn, I guess. Anyway, let's try to focus up on this game here. I mean, this guy, I will say, is kind of playing decently for someone at 0 wins in a Grand Challenge. I wouldn't typically expect, you know, I mean, this kind of gameplay. I mean, I'm not saying this is like an amazing player, you know, someone who's like a top player, but it's not, this doesn't seem like it's some 4K player, you know. This guy seems to have somewhat understanding what he's doing, but then right as I say that, he misclicks the Tesla and the balloon is not going for the Tesla. So I swear, sometimes I kind of jinx my opponents. Like, I'm talking about how they're playing well, and then right when I say that, missed building, and, you know, this is the type of gameplay you'd expect, though, when you're at 0 wins in a Grand Challenge, and this is exactly why I start later in the Grand Challenges, at 8 wins typically, because the opponents will be playing better, and there'll be very minimal mistakes typically. But, yeah, I mean, but I guess it's still a good learning experience for you guys, you know, how to take advantage of, you know, your opponent, you know, making these kinds of mistakes, and you can see it's really easy to do. You just continue applying the pressure, and you always have the Tornado for the Hog, which is really, really nice. And yeah, we're just looking really good here. Hog is not bad. I mean, Hog, unlike the Ramrider, I lost to, you know, Mega Knight Ramrider last game. Very unfortunate loss, but you see the Ramrider, it's much harder to deal with because the Hog, you know, the Tornado, you can just Tornado it to the King every time, but the Ramrider, it's kind of awkward. You can't really Tornado it. The Tornado is actually not that good against it. I mean, it's weird because you would think it would be, but it's just not for some reason. The Ramrider is just too strong, and the Tornado, the pool isn't as good against it. But this guy's starting to work his way back. I mean, despite that, you know, mistake he made with the Tesla early on, he's starting to, you know, get some damage with the Hogs and the Earthquakes and, you know, make a little bit of a comeback here. But I'm actually going to go opposite lane with the Balloon because he just played the Tesla kind of lower on the left. So I'm going to try to get damage on the, you know, right. And it's fine to switch lanes. I mean, it's okay to do. The Balloon might actually get 2 hits. And if that's the case, then we'll end up getting more damage on the right lane than we got on the left. So now we're just looking even better here. And I'm just going to cycle a Fireball because at this point, all we really need to do is just go Fireball, Log, and Tornado. After that Fireball, it'll be enough damage, and we'll be fine. So I'm just going to cycle a Log here. We can go for a Tornado and a Fireball, and that is going to be GG, because Fireball easily does enough damage. It does, I believe, 206, which is more than enough, and we get the win there. And yeah, I think we'll just go for one more game. You know, it's kind of a bummer we didn't complete the challenge, but yeah, we'll go for one more. Try to at least end, you know, on a couple game win streak in the start of this Grand Challenge here, and, you know, should be able to find this game, I think, pretty quickly, but I'll see you guys when I find the next game. Okay, guys, here we go in our second game here of this Grand Challenge. So let's see how good our gameplay is from this opponent. Go ahead and give him the good luck. And he's going to go Hog. Another Hog deck. Oh my goodness. Hog is just still really popular. Even though Hog has been meta for, you know, I think like 5 years now, and it's received its fair share of buffs and nerfs, it's always been, you know, so popular. And we can log that. Wallbreaker's Archers. Very interesting. So I guess I'm just going to Balloon because he used his Archers and he used to Hog and Wallbreakers, so he used up a lot of Elixir. So we'll see if we can punish him for that. And he missed the Tesla pool. Just like the last opponent, this guy did the exact same thing. Man, Tesla, I guess, can be hard for some people to play, huh? You know, that's the thing. Tesla's really strong, But for whatever reason, it's a card you always see a lot of mistakes from out of it. And there you go. I mean, you can't make those misplays against this deck. This deck punishes you hard for those types of mistakes. You know, you pretty much, with this deck, what it does is, I mean, it puts your opponent in awkward situations, and, you gotta be really, against the balloon especially, that's why it's such a good win condition. You have to be really, really careful, because Tesla is your only counter to it that you have. So I'm probably going to ignore that hog because, I mean, the king's activated, and I don't want to devote my attention to it because then I won't be able to build a push. And I think this is better because he doesn't have too much elixir after playing that Mega Knight. I mean, you see he's even going for the well played. I think he knows it, that there's just no way he's going to be able to stop that balloon. It doesn't get the second drop. It was super, super close. Kind of unfortunate it didn't get it, but we're still in an incredible position right now. And, I mean, we have our Tornado in cycle for his next Hog Rider, if he, of course, chooses to pressure with it, which he probably will. So we'll just, wait for that moment and then go for the Tornado, and we should be good. I mean, he probably only has time for a couple more Hogs, if I had to guess. There's one of them, and then he'll probably have time for one more, and maybe I wanted my Tornado in cycle, but what I'll actually do is punish him right now with a Lumberjack and a Balloon, play a couple cards, try to get back to my Tornado quickly so I have it again for the Hog. But we have the Giant Skeleton clogging the lane anyway, that it might not even matter, but I think it's good just to be safe to get it back if I can. We get the Ewiz, and then we have the Tornado, so that is going to be GG. We end off of a pretty easy win here, even though, it's early on in the Grand Challenge, and I apologize for, for those of you who want to see gameplay later in the Grand Challenge, but like I said, can't win every single Grand Challenge, and I figured, I don't think I've ever done this, where, like, I lose and start up, like, if I don't get the 12 win, just start up another and play some games there. But if you guys did enjoy this, let me know, because, I mean, it's going to give you a taste of what the opponents are like, early on in the Grand Challenge. You'll see more mistakes, so make sure, you take advantage of those, and as long as you play well, you should be able to win, which is usually why, you'll see me start the videos at 8 wins, and usually it's not much of a struggle to get there. It just starts to get a lot harder as you progress through the challenge, which I'm sure a lot of you guys know. But if you did enjoy this, let me know in the comments. Thought I would try something different. I kind of decided to just try it, on the spot right after losing it, because I don't really have the levels to play it on ladder. If I did, I probably would have just hopped in, the ladder game, but you see 3 cards, and I only have the gold to upgrade 1, but anyway, that is going to be it for the video. Make sure to like it if you guys did end up enjoying it. Let me know what you guys think of the deck. I thought it was pretty fun. Obviously, I am not anywhere near close to mastering this deck. I am nowhere near as good as Simi, because let me tell you guys, if I was as good as Simi is with the deck, who finished 14th in World last season, I definitely probably would have, first of all, won the Grand Challenge, or at the very least, won that game, that Mega Knight Ram Rider game that I pretty much choked at the end. But regardless, it was a fun video, and yeah, make sure to like if you did enjoy it, subscribe if you guys aren't subscribed already. So close to 100,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much, and thanks again. Until next time, guys.